This is the fashion room. It's arranged chronologically, and you can see the evolution of fashion to, well, it goes at least up to the 1970s, so we don't have a lot of modern displays. These were from the 1850s, so that's going way back. We see a lot of things that we don't see much anymore, like feather caps and things. The 1910s, notice the fur on the coats, which is not politically correct anymore, but they were popular in the day. By the 1920s, fashion had progressed a lot, and there were some really beautiful articles there that we have. The 1930s. Again, notice the furs around the neck, and here's a fur jacket with a fur collar around it. These early aprons that were used were really quite fashionable. In the 1940s, fashion evolved a lot because women, due to World War II, had to be in the workplace, and so they started to wear suits, and there's some beautiful examples of those there. Then by the late 40s and early 50s, other things developed, like poodle skirts. There's another fur coat, but some very beautiful dresses from the 1950s. And we're quite proud of the fact that we have some dresses on display that were worn by famous people. This dress was worn by Shirley Temple in one of the movies that she was in as a little girl. This was a dress worn by Eleanor Roosevelt. This was a dress worn, these two, worn by Doris Day. This one was worn in a movie where she sang Que Sera, Sera. And I remember seeing the movie, and I remember that dress. It's pretty amazing to have it on display here. Then another actress named Sandrea Dee. These dresses were worn by her in some Hollywood movies. So moving on around, we have the 1960s represented and the 1970s. Then over here, this dress was sewn by Joan Jones, a prominent Payson citizen, and I marvel at the complexity of that one. It was worn by the 1964 Payson homecoming queen, Joan Sudweeks. Beautiful. This was an Onion Days queen, Maybelle Carson, wore this during Onion Days of 1936.